So he was the one who took all the photos lah when we were at Dusun. And,
I remember him. Yeah,
Chris.
he wanted to kind of mix one of our tracks.
Oh yeah.
At one point,
that's cool.
Because I think he was transitioning over. He's probably in photography, videography, and probably mixing too, sound engineering. I don't know.
That's his main thing. He's actually a producer, engineer. So it's exactly what I do, except that he's got the video and photography thing as well.
So you need to get that under your belt.
Oh, yeah. I don't have an eye for those sort of things, right? No.
I mean, I've followed a couple of like YouTube videos. I mean, it's known that when I take pictures, I can kind of get the angle. There's the diagonal imagery.
Yeah.
There's also that square in the middle. There's the image.
The rule of thirds.
The rule of thirds, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you probably know more than I do.
It's stuff that, surprisingly, when you talk about video, it's all stuff that I picked up the past 2 years lah, because of COVID lah.
Yeah.
Because, not having much work to do. So, okay, let's try, doing some video stuff like that. And then I said like, okay, it's pretty fun.
So you've done tons and tons of YouTube posts, you discussing about the music
stuff, production related stuff, because that's the only shit I know, and I can't talk about anything else. My brain is only that's all I know.
Well, there's the songwriting thing at one point, right?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
I mean, I find that I think I kind of plateaued for a little bit with the COVID.
Yeah,
it's feeling motivated is very difficult. I guess when you don't see people, you don't meet people, you're kind of away from one another. But I think everyone just has to go with the flow and just try to make the best of the situation, I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when did like Canada go into
it was
lockdown?
March.
It was in March as well.
Yeah, March.
We went into Malaysia was March 18th, so around the same time.
Couple of days earlier. Perhaps a week, maybe.
So it's around the same time. So I don't know, man. For me, it was like, and for a lot of people who I know who are songwriters and creative people, they kind of, that first 2-3 weeks was more like shock. They were like, they were not doing anything.
Really? I was speaking to some guys and they were saying, the first 2 weeks were like, let's see how long this is. Because it's like you take time off. It's like vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So you didn't think this thing was going to go on and on and on, like drag on.
Yeah, because they were saying like, it'll be a 2-week lockdown.
Yes, I think.
And then 2 weeks became another 2 weeks. And then it was another 2 weeks. But yeah, it was after that 2 weeks, getting into the third, fourth week, it was like, then when I think people realized that, oh shit, this for real, man. We could be in for the long haul, and we better get
definitely.
Yeah. So that was for me lah. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think. 2020, how many songs did I sing? I think I probably got maybe just one track under my belt. It was a song that we actually sent to Ray. So Ray Toro kind of played the guitars on that.
Yeah.
And he mixed it and produced it. It's a really short song, just guitar driven.
Did we hear that?
No, I don't think you guys. No, we haven't released it yet. I'm still
okay.
thinking for the right time, because the last thing I want to do is just release one thing now, fall asleep and be silent, and then kind of come up with something. That actually brings me to why Through a New Lens didn't really seem to fly. Number one, it was recorded over a 5-year period. Was it 15, 16, 17, 18? Yeah, 5-year period.
Yeah.
And it was a mash of like 8 songs.
Yeah.
When Izwan and I were writing it, that's why it's Through a New Lens. It's the different songwriter, different songwriters involved, looking at things differently. I was kind of getting used to his one spin on the music. He was trying to, because I mean he's been a Butters fan, so I mean he's familiar, but it's also exciting to kind of relive that. So that's why we had a variety of songs. We had the slightly Led Zeppelin songs, and then we had like a lowered A sharp song, like a drop.
Yeah.
They call it the drop D, but instead of D, it's all the way to A sharp. And so we had a variety of things. We had like piano songs. some songs that kind of reminded you of probably Alice in Chains.
Yeah. I'll let me try to stop you there before we go any further, because some of anyone who's sound listeners might not exactly know what you're talking about. But this is the Emmett I project, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm Emmett. You know me from Butterfingers, but I also have. Wouldn't call it my project band. It's just I'm working with Iswan Shah from Auburn.
Yeah.
So
Auburn.
I mean, he and I were kind of like the primary members.
Yeah.
Really, the songwriting team. But we've had. I've had a variety of sessionists to kind of join in the fun and play. Just a variety of songs. So we've had Melina, we were doing Jack, there's Kamal, there's
Kamal on guitars.
Right? There's One Min, there's Jules, we've had Rudy come in session, we've had Kada who's come in session.
Yeah.
We're also getting Loco is in one of the songs too, the songs that we're working on now. Loco Butterfingers.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Loco.
You get there is like
Hafiz Loco.
Yeah. Hafiz Loco, yeah. So some of the Butterfingers members are contributing to some of this but it's primarily you and Izwan lah.
I mean, for us, it's we're driving the song. They kind of come in and they kind of put their spin on it.
Yeah. So the first one was how many songs was that?
It's 8 tracks.
That was. Would you release all of that already?
Oh, we did. Yeah. That's why it came out, and then we played in Borneo. I think we played in Sabah and Sarawak. It's just 2 dates, back to back, and then that was it. And then it kind of fizzled. I mean, music for me is primarily like a hobby because I do have a full-time job that I'm committed to. So this is more of getting things off my chest. But now things seem to kind of be more serious, not time-wise. I don't think I'm spending a lot more time on it, but I have better friends, better connections, people help about in Malaysia when I'm not around. They help me with getting to know people, getting I wouldn't say the administrative stuff, but it's just things that I could have done in Malaysia, but I'm not around, and they kind of help me out.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like a labor of love, and even these close friends that I work with, it's just a small circle, and we whenever I'm back here, we kind of meet up, have some tea, and, kind of connect.
But the obviously the writing process back in the day with when you before you sort of moved over to Canada, in the early days of with Butters, right, with Butterfingers, and then with Emmett I is one. How different was the
Butterfingers writing? Is primarily Locke.
Yeah.
So it came to a point where he was just churning out songs and licks, and I think none of us could kind of keep track. I mean, it's not like you're competing, but it came to the point where it just seemed to make more sense that rather than kind of come up with your own, it's more of taking that and making it your own. So I've always felt that I've always been a conduit to songwriters, and then I can kind of translate that, and I kind of make it my own piece. In a lot of ways, Emmett I wouldn't say similar, but I think I've put more effort and time into really writing.
Right. Yeah.
And from the get-go, when we were starting out with Butterfingers, I was just writing like folky stuff. Things that didn't really fly, it wasn't.
Yeah, I've heard you send some of your demos.
Yeah, it's just so soft and folky. It does not fall in Butterfingers. Yeah. So in that sense, I was like, okay, Locke, you've got everything. You've got the sound going. You've got things are consistent. And I was like, okay, you know what? You can focus on that. I'll just make sure that I'm the greatest singer for those songs. That was the mission. So it's more of a divide and conquer, and then you kind of combine your forces instead of just trying to compete, trying to outdo one another in that sense. I think that was the best camaraderie that I actually had with Butterfingers.
Right. Yeah.
We were not really, I wasn't really worried about the optics and how people perceive.
Yeah.
Like me just being the singer, the frontman, and all the time the guy that always has to talk. I mean, after a while, I was like, oh, I'm kind of done with this. And then, kind of started talking more. Locke was speaking more because that's when we kind of transitioned into like Selamat Tinggal Dunia. So, we were speaking more Malay. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. I've done like the first couple of albums. You guys can take over. So, I mean, it's not, we've always had that friendship.
Yeah.
So I find that it's this sense of brotherhood, and those were great times. Those are times where you just didn't really care about anything else. I mean, you hardly had change in your pocket. All the cars that we were driving were all deadbeat cars, and the gas was on E the whole time. Maybe if you're on a lucky day, it's like a couple of millimeters over the E.
Oh,
and that was it. We would just drive in and, it was always at the mama eating. That's how we kind of hang out, We watch the girls that come by and go, okay, We used to like to watch people. We've always been people watchers. And most of the songs, lyrically, they've always been inside jokes. We've always taken fragments of songs, for example. I mean, I know it's not good to kind of talk about the songs in detail because it takes the magic out of it.
It takes away some of the mystery.
That's the mystery and the enigma. I know. That's what Greg kind of told me. It's like, you don't tell your fans
Greg
what these things mean. I could kind of go through the words and kind of pick out times we're at.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but for a great example would be The Garden City of Lights. So that song was primarily Bangsa, KL, because of the lights and lights at night. Things are going on. So that's why the lyrics had a lot of references to Bangsa, that I don't know, like that rectangular Talawi stretch, that rectangular stretch from we mentioned about the Mako frogs, because Mako was one of the restaurants there, and they were serving frogs. For us, we were always going past there, and then we had the band was always talking, going, "What? There's frogs' feet," and it was just laughter. Then there was a reference to like the rainbow. That was like the first stall, right? And that's where everybody kind of hung out. Like all the other bands too, OAG, and the other bands.
Yeah.
I don't want to kind of mention too many bands because I know if I kind of mention too many, I'll be missing out on some, and then people will be giving me the boot.
We'll just say and the peers and the contemporaries.
And the peers. And the peers.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. Yeah.
Songwriting, Locke was striving to be his own, like that. Even the sound, the guitar sound, and his approach to things, he was really trying to get that on. For me, lyrically too, I was just trying to get that mystery, but also kind of making it in a very Manglish sort of way. So it's not. It's nothing like what you get abroad because we grew up here. Yeah. So you can't pretend to know all the nuances in all the songs that you've kind of listened to in the 80s, the 90s. So it's just make it your own.
Yep.
Have a couple of references, but just come up with stuff. Yeah. And another thing that we like to do is we like to fish into the dictionary. Yeah. And I mean, not really purposely. It was just words that kind of just came out. Like oligopoly came out when Locke and I were doing the business administration studies, and that kind of came up. We stuck it in there. And we actually found out that a lot of the fans appreciated all these weird words being tossed in. And they were going, "Oh, I'm learning English."
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So we've tossed in a lot of like delirium. It's things that things are not really colloquial. And a lot of times we were using words in not the right places. Like I remember using the word ascertain, and going back to it, I'm like, no, dude, this this is not right.
As certain as in A-S-C-E?
Like a certain, like
certain. Okay.
yeah, ascertaining, right?
Ascertaining, yeah.
But I was kind of using it as certain, and I thought it meant what it meant, but it didn't. So there are a lot of things that you kind of discover when you're a little older and more mature. Because of course, when at that time we were basically in the storm, so you were just always just moving around. It was like quiet time, so we didn't really know the impact we had because it felt like you're in the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah.
And, it's peaceful and quiet here, and you didn't know the impact it was making to people. Because I think we have been very much oblivious. We don't take compliments very well.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, okay, you just shrug it aside. It's this egoless. I mean, egoless and having an ego at the same time. It's like balancing that out, right?
It is the balance.
Maybe not having an ego is an ego in itself, right?
Maybe. Yeah. In some ways when you think of it, yeah.
So my thing for fashion was like, not having a fashion is my fashion sense.
Yeah.
Because I've always had shorts. I've always just been like, but my close friends always say, you're dressing up like you were when you were like in your 20s.
You mean now?
No,
They're saying
like this, these things.
It's just
shorts.
Because you're comfortable.
Well, for me, for me, it's comfort more than anything else.
Yeah. Not trying to make some kind of fashion statement.
No,
anything,
I mean,
right?
although it would be fun to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else is doing it. I mean, it seems to be the facade of Instagram and how and this like some guitarists trying to show some licks. She's putting a lot of makeup, and it's suitable. Like you're dressing up for that scene, that take.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I grew up in that generation, and probably neither did you.
I mean, it depends on maybe the company or maybe your peers that you kind of mix with, who you kind of hang around with. If you're around people who don't think that way, then you tend to sort of adopt the thoughts and and the mindset of people around you.
I don't think Pop Shuvit was like that.
Yeah. I mean,
you guys were cleaner.
In the sense,
the dress sense.
Yeah,
right?
There was the pressure, of course, at the start. And I mean, we went through the whole charade of dressing up for photo shoots and going out. We would go together to shop for clothes together as a band. In the early days.
I mean, we have done that.
I'm sure you've done that. And that was usually because of pressure from the label lah.
You got the pressure from the label.
Yeah,
we didn't really get that, but we always had our let's go to the bundle. Let's see what we can get.
Yeah. So right. Bundles were a good place. Sungai Wang was a great place to go and shop for cheap stuff. Yeah, I mean it's not pressure per se, but it's like they drop little hints.
Yeah, of course you want to explore and.
But then eventually after that, it's like we didn't give a shit anyway. We just whatever, man. We just dressed whatever. Yeah. After a while.
And even that time, it was the time when you actually went out to, for example, Campbell to discover,
music. Yeah.
Music.
Victoria.
Exactly.
Music also in Sungai Wang. Yeah.
So that was the going out culture, always looking for things. Now things just kind of fall on your lap most of the time.
It's more than that. It feels like you're being force-fed the thing, for me, with so much content. Hey, let me get you
some tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only water though. If you want tea, we can get you tea.
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah?
Nah, water's fine.
There you go. Yeah. Sorry,
I like
mine
the
is tea.
coasters.
Yeah.
It's very musical.
I am, I got this from Shopee. I'm actually curious. I actually want to put this on a record player and see whether is there really any sound on it. Some subliminal messages. But no lah, I don't think so.
It's satanic music, man. Yeah.
No, but these are all just decoration because you see.
For sure.
Tea time. Protect the surface. It's all related to drinks, man. Yeah. So where were we, man?
Well, we were just talking about where those were the days where you kind of go out to discover things rather than things falling on your lap.
Yeah.
Everything's at your fingertips. And I think maybe that's what the current generation, I mean, there's pros and cons to doing that. I mean, the world's your oyster now. Like you can get anything easily, right? So you've got that breadth of musical exposure
Yep.
at your fingertips at a very cheap cost.
Yep.
But also at the same time, there is less of you kind of get to know bands or groups. It's because it's more of a singles, the songs. And, when you're on Spotify, it's like 15 seconds, and then you're on to the next one, the next one, the next one. You can't keep up with the pace because there's just so many that kind of come at you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There are daily, there's 60,000 uploads on Spotify a day.
Jeez,
That's what I read in an article
I believe
per
it.
day. So it's like, there's no way to keep up with all the stuff and all the music that's being put out, man. So, for me, I don't envy the newer bands and new artists nowadays because they have so much. They have to compete against streaming. They have to compete not only other music, right? They have to compete against TV. They have to compete against YouTube. All the content, all the different content. It's like if I was in a band, now I would, be in a position to be like, what are we supposed to do, man?
That's why being in a band is tough because you think that, if I join a competition, if I'm always on social media doing that stuff rather than working on your craft, right? That's one thing that we used to do.
Yep.
It's just your craft,
Yeah.
and then live, and then connecting with people. I think that was probably primarily the success of probably Butterfingers and also you guys too. Right, is you got to connect with fans, and also you guys connected with fans outside too. You guys played in Japan, various places too. So it's that live connection. I think that's what cemented the fans' nostalgia for us.
But so I'm just like being a band now in 2021. There's so many
2021.
challenges. Oh, 2022.
Living in the past, my friend.
Yeah, living in the past. 2022, my mistake. Yeah. Still stuck in 20. Still stuck in
Sorry, I'm
in
just
last
busting
year.
your balls.
No, it's so good, man. Hey, Emmett can bust my balls all day long. Okay. Yeah.
So that's what happens when you kind of play in the same band, right? So I know this session is a little long. It's like two people just sitting and talking and just catching up, rather than let's talk about something specific. So I'm sorry we're going to be all over the place, but that's just how we just gonna. Yeah, we rumble. We're gonna rumble that way.
Whenever I do this, also we just roll. We just roll with it, man. And there's never usually any agenda or specific topic. Yeah. But of course, I want to sort of circle back if you don't mind.
Oh no, let's circle back to
to more of back to you, lah.
Back to me. I was talking about the 2021. It's harder to kind of play music. So
it is.
So we're just gonna rope it back to that's what we're talking about. Like 96, 97, 98. The scene. So that is the difference. What we're really fortunate is, I know the scene kind of came much earlier with Carburetor Down. Everyone was just trying to kind of do something a little different because, we kept getting like bombarded with rock kappa all the time.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's bad, right? That's besides the point. But there was just a small group of people that just wanted to do things differently. And then another thing, and to do things differently is to kind of sing in a different language too. So that's why they kind of latched onto English.
Yes.
And then the venues, and then it was a small group. And I think when we came in, OAG definitely pathed the way.
Yeah.
He's really 60CB kind of came out.
They brought that into the mainstream,
They did.
The circle, so it became something that became a household name. It's like, hey,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember I was 94. I was still studying for my SPM. A buddy of mine says, "Oh, you gotta listen to this demo." I'm like, "Oh, it's all photocopying. What the hell, man? This is." But it was nice. It was songs that you would share with your friends.
Yeah.
And there's a certain connectivity. Maybe it's cultural. Right? Like it's a sense of, it was crafted by someone close by in the community.
Yep.
As always taking in acts from overseas, right?
Or something that goes through that has gone through the traditional industry system. Is it being fed from a label to radio, something like that. This was cool because it was like being shared by your friends.
And then that's when the fanzines.
Yes.
Fanzines or fanzines?
Fanzines, yeah.
Fanzines?
Yeah.
They came out. Yeah. People were starting to kind of write more about music. There was more of an interest. And it was great in the sense that we weren't competing with one another, trying to outdo it, because everyone was just doing different things, right? But what we wanted to do is we wanted to kind of do the best in that genre that we were playing, right?
Yep.
And that would be the healthy competition.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they're doing it really good this way. We're in a different bucket, but we can kind of improve. And I think that was really healthy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always happy to see other bands succeed. I'm honestly really happy if like now, for example, if we take, for example, now, I would say the band that's really making the most impact in terms of mainstream would be SOG.
Yes, they had a recent show, I think, in Johor.
Yep. And
I know what you guys are doing.
They are also, they have now, they're also in AJL, the finals.
That's right.
So for a band that's doing like, the emo metalcore thing.
Correct.
To get onto this mainstream stage. It's the last time that something like that happened was like, if you talk about getting into mainstream, I think was Estranged.
Correct.
It's about 2006, 2007. Yeah. So that's like, a good 15 years that we haven't seen like a band get that sort of attention. So hopefully it'll pave the way for, more band music to...
rather than maybe a label just tossing out money to kind of create someone from an influencer.
Yeah.
Someone who's really comfortable in front of the camera, has a lot to say, has that personality, and they go, you should kind of do some music too. Okay. And they shove the music to the side, and then they, and then not like music has never been manufactured. Music is constantly manufactured all the time, all the top hits, right?
Always, yeah. Yeah.
But with a band, it doesn't
It
fit.
comes from,
You can't really manufacture a band.
Yeah.
Maybe a boy band, but bands, nah.
Yeah. Any band that has the word band in it. it's always not a real band.
It's fishy.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've recorded, I've mixed a lot of these. I won't say any names, but any band that has the word band in it. Oh well, yeah. Oh, back to
the scene.
Emmett, more of like the previous album. You mentioned at the start early on that the challenges, right? Of getting the music noticed, getting traction nowadays. It's so hard. It's so different. Like, but how would you?
I think through a new lens, that was my objective, was just trying to just move and kind of continue. Do music again, because there was the longest time that I was just a stay-at-home dad in suburbia. Music was so far from the mind.
Yeah.
And that's when people were reaching out saying, hey, why don't you try this song? I was saying, okay, we'll see how it goes. And then it was like, let's just keep it going. So it was just Izwan and I just sending sound bites through WhatsApp, sometimes just through Logic recordings, just share your workspace, you add the files, import files. And it's challenging, but with technology, it has just made things so much easier. Like, I have to admit, through voice time, even discussing things, it's so much easier than it was, say, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But unfortunately, the band, the songs were just studio songs.
Yeah.
Right? Never tested live.
The only time you guys actually tested live is after you already did the songs, and then you came back in, and then you guys jammed, right? Yeah.
That's what you call like a studio album, right?
It's created in the studio.
The creation, that's why the creative process kind of took a long time.
Yeah.
And what we actually did was, we didn't say, okay, we have a song, like we're gonna finish it. It was more like there'll be a lull. I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do about this? I don't know. Hey, I've got something else.
Yeah.
And then we talk about something else. So
Yeah.
all these songs were just being put together at different times.
Yeah.
And I always use the word hantu with this one. It's like when your hantu comes, right? You got the whole song.
Yeah.
When you're writing something, you're at the end and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't really sit down and go, I want this to work. And, once you start kind of committing to the thought,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's my, like this,
No,
I'm more of a wing it guy.
Yeah.
Right? And I know a lot of people kind of get frustrated because I'm a wing it guy. I hardly plan, but I just kind of let the monster loose whenever it need be it. So when I used to do the recordings, in the basement, it's just a little pantry, like a 3x3 room, put on a very bright light. I kind of invested in a couple of mics too.
Yeah. What do you use, by the way? Yeah. I can't remember you asked. Yeah.
So the good thing is, there's a music store, in Canada that you can rent mics.
Oh. Right.
So I was renting the Mojave, I got the Neumann. The Neumann 103?
103?
TLM 103.
Right, yeah.
There was the Audio Technica, 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember. There's so many mics.
Yeah.
There's the
Remember you used an Avantone also before, right? Did you? Was it an Avantone?
The one I actually bought.
You bought was
the Ashton.
Ashton, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's the sturdy. You don't really need a pop filter. I found it was very bassy though. It seemed to kind of have a lot of lows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I can't really tell you the technical side of it. For me, I just kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you do stuff, and when you work on stuff, you record everything in Logic, right?
Yep. It's just click the button and kind of sing. So one thing I don't like is just patching vocals together. I'm more of a, okay, let's go. Roll tape, keep singing, and then something doesn't go right. All right, back again, and you finish it. And usually kind of go into the chorus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, that doesn't work. I'm just going to do the verse again. And always backtracking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I kind of get the feel. So everything is more live.
Yeah.
Apart from the fill-ins,
Yeah.
right? And then you got to open another track and go, okay, I kind of back it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I know with technology, you could do a myriad of things. You could do 3 main lines, counter lines, 2 doubles, and then it's just a whole, it's like a chorus of voices that come in, which sweetens the whole thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it kind of takes away the jagged edges, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mogo that you produced.
Yeah.
Was you brought in the auto, not the auto tune. What is it called, the vocoder thing?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the auto tune.
It was.
What was it called?
I can't remember exactly.
It's like it's modulation.
There was some kind of a filter, like a pitch, like a pitch filter thing, which made the voice a little.
Yeah, a little robotic.
Yeah.
in some ways.
Yeah. And then I think the group thing as well. We got a couple of bunch, and myself also. We were like shouting and screaming our lungs out.
Yes, that was the chorus.
Yeah,
the end.
that was the chorus. Yeah, that was fun. That was a really, really fun project to work on, lah.
So basically, the projects that I work on, the first important thing is fun factor. Fun is not. If fun is not there, then it seems that it's pointless.
It feels like work. Yeah, which kind of defeats the purpose of making music. You're supposed to be fun, supposed to be stress reliever.
Well, unless music's your bread and butter, then it's different. Like I've always, what was the word? I've always tried to understand people who really in the scene, in the bread and butter music. That's what you're doing, and how do you kind of find that passion and know when it's work? Like you gotta be able to know when to kind of push some things to the side, when to kind of treat things as work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, because music has just been just something that I like to dabble with.
Yeah.
It was just all fun.
Yeah. But I can tell you the same for me also. I have to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Even though it can be something as mundane as doing a commercial or like dialogue voiceovers, which is like super tedious work, I still have to treat it like fun, even though it's tedious and work. Like otherwise, it's like there's no way I can maintain the sanity doing this lah. Yeah,
Okay.
all day in day out. It still has to be fun. Yeah.
Has to be fun.
So
Right.
I 100% agree with you. It has to start with fun.
So you mentioned voiceovers. So at
Yeah.
one point, I was actually doing voiceovers in jingles.
When was that?
That was the time that I was with Ragtime.
Ah,
Yeah,
right.
Ami Yusuf's
his production company.
production company. I mean, there's a couple of guys
Yeah.
kind of got together
Mm.
and made the company, and there were voiceovers and jingles, and I was kind of on the roster. It's like, hey, you can kind of go through all these. Like,
Yeah,
Ami Yusuf
yeah.
is like the most expensive. he's taking the big hits, but some companies kind of go, hey, what can he give to this? Oh,
Yeah.
is this weird
Yeah.
rock dude?
Mhm, yeah.
So when I kind of come in, it's just weird. I either be shouting or kind of doing some floating weird. If they want weird, they kind of
It was-
contact me.
Okay. It's not like, oh, okay, we want commercial when you sell
No.
a product. No.
I think the most commercial I did was McDonald's.
Oh,
That was
wow.
one of the voices at the end for McDonald's. I was a detergent, some cleaning detergent ad. It was fun.
I never noticed that. Would I be able to pick it out or
No,
find
this
it now?
is old. This is like
really-
2000 and
Okay.
2001.
It's so really old.
Yeah.
Probably never gonna find it.
Well,
Yeah.
we actually did like a Levi's jingle. We had 2 tracks. I'm still looking for it, but I mean, there were like 30-second tracks.
Yeah.
But we really treated it like a snapshot of music, and the corporate side of Levi's is going, I think you need to kind of put in more words of Levi's, right? You're going to mention the brand a little bit more. And for us, we're just going spacey, not spacey, but we're not kind of not treating it like a commercial thing. We had, there was another track, 30-second, we had like a sad ending because it's like, na, 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 and then you end it with, na, it's something that is really weird for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is, but I should kind of contact Levi's and see if they still have it. I doubt it they'll have it. It's just ages ago.
Yeah, this is so long. Usually they don't keep keep this kind of stuff.
No.
Yeah.
7 years only, and that's it.
Yeah. It's super interesting, man. Yeah. So I didn't know that side that you did voiceover and commercial stuff as well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So during with I want to bring you back again to the album. I want to talk a little bit about someone that we mutually a mutual friend of ours, right, and someone that I think we both look up to. That's Greg Anderson.
Yeah.
Greg was involved in the project?
Yeah. He was kind enough to kind of mix the tracks.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the production side, did he get
not
heavily
really.
involved?
I mean, he was always treating it like a mix,
Mm-hmm.
but to be honest, there's a lot of production there.
Yeah.
He kind of said,
Yeah.
he kind of made the guitar sound a specific way. He was like, oh, that signal, there's nothing much you can do with it. Gonna get better signals,
Ah, okay.
sort
Right.
of thing.
How much of an production input that did he give? Did he bring to the table? Yeah.
It's not this. It's not. I think it just came when he was mixing it.
Right.
It's like I felt of kind of doing it here. I felt of doing it there.
Right. Yeah.
So for me, I am not so fussy about the production
Mm-hmm.
because I'm more like surprise me, like kind of do something that you kind of feel would work. And then when he explains it, and then I kind of think about it. You go, yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah.
But sometimes when things don't fit, and then internally you're going, nah, this can't fly. Then he kind of fixes it or kind of does it up. But the production was really at the end of the mix.
Yeah.
So again, that's why all the songs on Through a New Lens weren't particularly close. They were done in different studios, different times, different musicians,
Yep.
and all that. So that's why it was like a compendium of songs and a compendium of time. It was just a time stamp for what we were kind of going through and what we wanted to kind of write about.
Right, yeah. I mean, the way I kind of gathered, then this way that you talk about it, it is again, like an outlet for you, right? Yeah. After not writing or doing stuff for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, it was an outlet. So it was something that I kind of I dove back into. I got the hang of it again. Got my MacBook, I got Logic, got some mics, dabbled with the guitars a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was just free for all.
That's super, man. Yeah.
So a lot of the songs that I was writing didn't really hit the album because they were just too slow and too folky or too country.
Yeah.
And that's why all the semi-grungy songs were like, oh, we're going to put this here because it's for the fans.
Yeah.
We put it out there.
What you remember that little, again, it's one of the folky songs, the one that we did. We got AJ on.
Yeah.
On and, we did some guitars and all that.
Yeah.
Is that song still finished or?
That song, I've kind of pushed it over to E.A.R.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of had like a few sections, sat down with AJ.
Yeah.
AJ's going, let's do something here. Let's do that. Let's try that. Maybe in a different key. Maybe let's keep that, And we were just working it out in the studio.
Yeah.
A couple of hours and then we were good. And then that's when we kind of laid down the keys or the piano and not piano, like the keyboards and stuff like that. And then that's where everything kind of piled on. But I know I sang it when things were just in its infancy, right?
Yeah.
The heavier bits kind of came on last.
Yeah. Is this how about the final version of it? Is it out? Is it done?
Yeah. It's spied off. It's in I think you can get it on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think it's released.
Right.
So we've got a couple of things out.
Yeah.
We've got that one by one thing.
Yeah. Right.
We've got that In Spite of. We've got Destination Nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the
those were the
newer.
Ones,
that's when I kind of got called in.
Yeah.
So that's how I landed in Project E.A.R. is Mootsy. Moots.
Yeah.
He's an old school friend. So we knew each other in primary school and also in secondary school. So we kind of go back and he was like, hey, Emmett, what you doing? Yeah, you want to come and be a part of this? I'm like, okay. And then that's when I kind of got brought into the group. I know there was a lot of reservations, with the guys who were going, Emmett, I don't know. Like, I know. Like, Daniel's going, who's this fella? Like, I got to meet this fella first. Because that's basically how we operate in E.A.R. is more of this getting an excuse to kind of get together and do stuff. Rather than, he's good, we need him for this. Yeah. Right?
I think, that was always the primary motivator. It always has to be based on friendship first. Yeah. That was always the main thing. It was friendship that brought us, Dandy and of course, Jameer together.
Yeah.
Right. So that was first and foremost. It was just friends that we happened to meet on the road. We perform there and we get to know them and stuff like that. And we just enjoy each other's presence, and then just happen to
and go mental and crazy
and then just let's do some music together then. Yeah. So and that's basically it. It's not like it's not like a calculated thing. Oh, let's get this guy in and
right
and involved. I think we made a bit of a mistake earlier on, like not to say a mistake lah, because we were trying to don't know whether I should say this, but I think this is probably 2009, 2010, because we were trying to get because basically like we were trying to penetrate into different markets. So I think
get the essence of Southeast Asia. So
so if we need to, we were trying to get into Indonesia.
Right.
So, so Saint Loco was one of the target lah. So, it's like, hey, they kind of sort of do the music like we do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we sort of got them in. So I think the thinking was that, hey, okay, if we can get these guys, then we can penetrate Indonesian market. But then I guess we realized that things didn't really work out. So I'm sure you know that after the Mara Bahaya collab, and
Mm-hmm.
then we did the MTV show. Then they did like one or two other collaborations, like on the hip hop tracks. But then kind of after that, it's like we never got together again.
Right.
So it felt very much like a business
So
transaction thing.
E.A.R kind of got a little bit like that.
Yeah, a little bit, because of that. But it's not. It's really not the band. I think it was more of the label and
Right,
management.
right,
So
right.
they began seeing things like what's in store for us, because so again, I'm probably not the best person to speak about these moods, and Danny can talk a little bit more about this, you see. But obviously, as we try to let's try to get into this market or that market, right? And the way to capitalize it is to, collaborate with someone, Yeah. So I guess we probably saw it that, hey, that's why it circles back to, it has got to start with friendship first, lah. Yeah. Not just because you want to make a connection because of what they could possibly offer. It has to be genuinely, right, starting off with friendship first. Yeah.
So what I actually enjoyed about E.A.R is there's just it's like a bunch of circus freaks, musical circus freaks, that misfits, like doing different things, and you just kind of come in, and you're not from the same seed, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of just get in there and go, I think I want to do that, and then that's when I appreciated the process, like the way things were going. I remember it was like 3 studios, everyone was working on different songs at different times, like, oh, what's happening there?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's doing the guitars, or somebody's doing the vocals, or some verse somewhere, and then we're just sitting on the couch, just going dabbling and just writing. Go, hey, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna go in now.
Oh yeah,
right. So
that was so fun, man. Yeah. And that was the way we did the first album. So we were trying to sort of recreate that.
That was the same.
The same process. We found that was the way it worked the best for us, lah. Because everyone's so busy anyway with their own schedules.
True.
And then everyone's from different places and different countries. That's how we got to get together, lah. Yeah. It's just a good excuse for everyone to, take a holiday, set aside some time, and just get together and make music. Yeah. But hopefully we'll be able to do that sort of thing again. Otherwise we kind of have to do everything like remotely and online like now, lah.
I think for E.A.R it's not going to work.
It's hard.
So the thing I learned from the process was, you got to be fast with melodies, lines, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit of a slowpoke when it comes to writing stuff. I like to sit on it, listen to it, and then kind of be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But that was just go. It was just, hey, that's good enough. Let's go. Let's kind of rock it out. So that was a strange. That was something I learned from E.A.R.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of, E.A.R has always been something where we take ourselves outside of our usual comfort zone, outside of our usual boxes, and just do something different, totally different.
Spontaneity, right? It's being spontaneous.
Exactly.
I know when Dandy's laying the rap, or Moots is laying the rap, they're like, what's the song about? Okay, hold your thought. And they'll be like sitting in the corner, finding their own line.
Yeah.
Well, so it's all about stories.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt. The batch of songs that we're doing, very mature.
Yeah.
Maybe a little dated in some ways, right?
Yeah.
But I found that the story was strong.
Yeah.
we had something to kind of sing about rather than just do something for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of topics and issues, and also you can tell the spin on how the late Jameh did his spin, the words he was using, and Dandy, and then Moots, and then sometimes we pinch words from the rap line. Sometimes the rap dudes are gonna pinch lines from the hook, the hook singers.
Yeah.
So it was just pinching things here and there, and it seemed to work.
Yeah. Well, but never say never, man. I mean, we'll find a way to work things out, and hopefully, hopefully, I mean, we're in the process of. I think by the time I put this out, I think Fade to Black should be out already.
Right.
Which, by the way, Fade to Black is actually the tribute to Jamir that we had. We had it's like the whole gang of people on board. Yeah.
Oh man, it should
be out by then.
I know. It's just releasing the songs in this term on these terms is just.
It's hard, yeah.
But I know that it's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for Jamir, it was like if music be the food of life, you just let it go.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't keep things in. I'm sure that's what he would wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. So I think it should be out this month. Yeah, it's planned to be out this month, lah.
And also the album is going to be out soon. I'm not so sure how many tracks are on the album, 8 or 9. The album is called The Chronicles of Vladimir.
Yeah. We'll check that. I have to check back again. When it comes to the marketing stuff, let's leave it to Moots and Daddy to handle it. Yeah. Let them handle that stuff, lah.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty busy with like the production.
Yeah.
And keeping things tight.
There's
I know during the recording session, I always felt like I had the cikgu, with like a notepad, looking at the tracks, right? They're being recorded. I mean, because you weren't really involved in the recording process.
Engineering.
But you were more of like the producer side, making sure inputs are good, things worked, things sounded, that they jive. Because I guess that's why you have an ear for things, right?
Yeah.
So before you can make a decision about things, you're there to kind of keep track of going, maybe you should do another one, or maybe another one, Emmett, try another line. Then you double it,
Yeah.
I remember you doing a lot of that because you had this notepad flipped over. Everyone else was just, they had different things in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, because knowing that, because we had 3 different studios running, at Big A at Anthony's
That's
place,
right.
there was no way that if I were to engineer, I would be like, I have to plan myself in one space and not sort of be able to have a big picture view over what needs to be done, what's the progress like. So that's what.
Oh, so you were talking about Big A's. I was actually talking about Dusun.
I mean, we started Dusun, then we transitioned over to Dusun.
I guess I didn't really realize the cikgu sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I remember in Dusun, when I was laying down the tracks, I always had you at the side. Gonna try that again,
Yeah, but it was so chill, Yeah, that was a great.
I know we even sang when it was raining.
Yep.
So there was some rain leakage. I mean, we stopped when it was thunder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was, the wildlife. There's insects out. All
insects out. Yeah. I mean, we were finishing our sessions like 7 a.m, trying to get some sleep. I find always the best time of the day was when you wake up at 5. You're like, I'm hungry, and then there's food that's served.
Yeah. So that's those tracks are coming out.
Yeah.
Dandy just got his new album out as well.
Yeah, his new album's out.
Yeah, and so what's in store, man? Because I know you've got some stuff in the works. But
we had something going. We kind of worked with Chandana, because Chandana was supporting a lot
giving the grants.
giving the grants. So we're like, okay, this is probably going to help speed up the process. So, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And it was just difficult to kind of get people together. So that's the struggle with us now is COVID has just really delayed everything, and things were kind of stagnant. And because we're in a band and we rely so heavily on other friends in different bands who have like the Chandana deal. So they want to kind of finish their own thing first. So we're always kind of just waiting to kind of wrap things up. I mean, we do have a couple of songs that's kind of close to done. We have a Raya track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a Raya track. It's a countrified Raya track. So I've just been. Oh, another thing I could kind of mention. What got me back into writing was I went to this country concert. And I think it was just the band was called like Lindy Ortega. She was the singer primarily, and that really got me interested in band stuff again. And I was going, oh great, oh country, okay.
Right. Where was this concert?
It's all the way in Canada.
Right. Yeah. Where was it in?
It's in my town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think I remember you mentioning something like that.
Yeah, I was actually blown away that I wanted to get the CD signed.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was probably right at the end. And when you kind of starstruck, you you kind of make yourself stupid in a lot of ways. So right. I remember going up to her, taking a picture, and like I think I know what I said. I said, "You sing well. You should continue singing." I mean, it's like a freakazoid sort of comment. What do you say to that? Like, yeah,
she was like, "What would you be thinking, man?" Okay,
yeah,
creep,
yeah. Yeah, I was impressed just by the arrangements, the honesty in country, and it was fusing a lot more elements to it. It had the R&B elements. It was pretty modern, and that's where I went, oh, I could do this too. Yeah. I mean, not intentionally, but I've always been a folk head. Even the times during Butterfingers, I was always trying to write songs. It was just so slow and timid. So yeah, we have a Raya song, and also I managed to kind of get a pedal steel player, a local guy. There's a young dude. I kind of reached out to a couple of pedal steel players. I had some guys in their 60s, their 50s.
Local as in Canadian?
Local as in Canadian, like homegrown Ontario.
Yeah.
They were a little bit on the old side, and they're like, "Oh, Emmett, this is a good track, but this is too modern for me." Yeah. Here, let me introduce you to Ryan. Like, okay, and I went to Ryan, and it was fantastic. It's just the way that he constructed the pedal steel to kind of work.
Right.
It was not one of these slow. It was modern and very hip and young.
Yep. Yeah. Not like the the stereotypical country pedal steel lick. No. That's cool. Yeah.
It was. So I find I've got this Malaysian feel. I've got a little bit of this grunginess.
Interesting.
And after the grunge years, of course, you kind of dabble into some pop.
Yeah.
Whatever you kind of get your hands onto. The only thing I can't really do is rap. I've always tried to. I mean, one of the songs that we have maybe in the next few years is a rap song. So I'm probably going to be rapping then.
You'll be rapping?
Yeah. I'll be rapping. So
let's hear. Let's hear. You heard it first here, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. So we have that, and then like another acoustic song. We're just kind of putting songs together, and really the direction that Izwan and I are taking is just in this very folk country way with guitars.
Yeah.
It's still a bandy band, but what we're trying to achieve is more. I think I feel like I'm kind of fed up of kind of just listening to myself sing all the time. because I'm always doing the main line, the doubles, the counters, that. And yeah, it's fun. But I'm like, let's make it more of a sing-along. Beach Boys, that sort of country when you have like 2-3 people singing along. It's more of a bandy band thing. So that's where we're actually headed. Keep the melodies strong. Nothing terribly fancy. Just simplicity, but kind of make the song strong.
Yeah. There was that session that was a couple of months back where Izwan came and recorded some like traditional stuff.
Right.
That's one of the songs.
That's one of the songs. So that song's called Senandung Malam.
Yeah.
It was actually one of the first songs that kind of went on Through a New Lens. Through a New Lens, it was Farewell to Foothills. Farewell to Foothills.
Yeah.
That was like the first song we ever kind of did. Before Eyes. Eyes was like the second one.
So this is gonna go on. This is like another collection.
It's another collection.
Yeah.
So, what we've always done is we've always looked at languages. We've always had songs in Malay and go, oh, there's another story in English. And I'm pretty fortunate that once Izwan and I we put our heads together. Yeah. He is great with being not bilingual, but he can think in 2 languages, and he's always written the Malay and he's always written in English. Yeah. I have to say, all the Malay stuff, even with Butterfingers, like I was absolutely out of the scene. Maybe I kind of came in with a couple of lines, a couple of ideas, gimmicks here and there, but primarily the meat and butter was basically locked.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to churn out some things and they were just laughing at me. It's like, oh, this Malay, this so buku text sort of language, right?
Yeah, no, but it's hard, man, to write in BM. Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. And you have more syllables, right? You have more syllables and you find you kind of pronounce things faster.
Yeah.
And everyone has commented about my slang or this.
Whatever,
I started in STD. It's like Sichara Serta Murta. It's just the way that I started singing it.
Yeah.
It was not that it was being, it was purposely done that way, but it just kind of came out when you've been singing in English for the longest time. And I've always pronounced my T's, C is a cha, I don't go it's different.
Yeah.
It's just the way I pronounce my Malay words, it's different.
Yeah. That's what they
and
call.
I've always
that's
been,
what they call pelat lah.
it's pelat lah. It's pelat. I've always been that. And I know with Kembali, I made it more of an effort to be conscious about the pelat. So I was like, trying to, pull things down, make things a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
And I think, Kembali was a very successful album in that sense.
Oh, well, it's successful. Yeah. That's understating it, man.
It's always like it's the weird. I think it's a little bit ahead of its time in a lot of senses. Yeah. But the magic with the album was we were given it was a challenge. It's the limited tracks. What can you do with it? Yeah. So it's like I have one guitar, one vocal. Locke was like, one guitar, one vocal, maybe some side instruments, local, kara, local, they had their own thing, and just make the best of it. And that's why it was such a live album. It was continuous, hardly any fill-ins. Things really flowed very well. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
I enjoyed the process.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic in Kings.
Yeah. And I hope you will enjoy. Obviously, for whatever you're making next, or whatever you guys are working on now, the stuff that's happening. I don't want to say like, oh, please hurry up and pressure you. It's like, oh, come on, I can't wait to hear from it. But, I think a lot of people are like, really eagerly gonna wait and hear from it lah. Like no pressure.
No, I can't wait to kind of all the old songs in 95, 96, 97. Not that I had songs. Mine were just different bits and pieces here. And now when you kind of bring some of that in, because it's really just being folk and maybe like like soft rock or classic rock sort of things. And now I'm kind of dabbling into that. So really toning everything down, and just kind of giving the song what the song needs.
Yeah, but just hearing you talk about it, just, I've of course had a little bit of sneak peek, recording that track with Izwan, so
that's
like,
Nandong had.
It's exciting. Yeah, it's super exciting, and can't wait for it. But I understand, take your time. Everyone is, needing to sort whatever, keeping their heads above the water, trying to in survival mode these past 2 years anyway.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I guess whenever it comes out, it'll be out. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're hoping on making it a few few singles.
Yeah.
Rather than have just one album, we're thinking of just collecting the songs, because again, it's starting to feel like the same Through a New Lens process, where you're pretty much crafting things as you kind of go along. Yeah. My ambition is just to sit in a house and just bang out everything in a whole week.
Yep.
So you kind of get that album feel to it. So that's why Through a New Lens was an album that wasn't really an album. So we're not thinking about having singles, like multiple singles, and probably coming out with like a concept, like a concept album, with art, all that. We're thinking of making it like the Black Album, with for us, keep things 2 colors throughout, limiting it that in that way, and the songs there will be a variety of songs. But now that we're channeling towards where we know where we want to go, things are looking pretty exciting. Yeah.
Indeed, man.
Yeah. Enjoying the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I think on that note, I think it's it's a good note to sort of wrap things up.
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. We've got plans after this as well.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. We're heading out and meeting.
I appreciate speaking in person with people.
Oh yeah.
Because I haven't really had the liberty to do that.
I know, man. Yeah.
In Canada.
Yeah.
It's a little tough times at the moment. So I feel that just kind of reaching out to people kind of bring some sunshine into the life.
Yeah.
Kind of take out.
I appreciate it. You took your time to do all this, man. Because you're heading back, flying back next week.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people to. I'm sure a lot of people want a piece of you.
It's the music.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to kind of get some tracks down.
Yeah.
Things that were just sitting around since 2020, and I've never really. I felt that the pandemic and whatever is kind of going on with me in my life.
Yeah.
Music was it was so difficult to get into the mode of music.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a red flag. So once Emmett kind of loses interest in music, something is up. So I've been pretty silent, pretty quiet, trying to keep my head above water and kind of get back to somewhat of normalcy.
Thanks for doing this, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for
no problem.
Like sitting down here talking with me. Yeah. Let's go and check on whether Moods is
I'm sure
coming about here,
he
and
is,
then
isn't he?
let's head on down and adjourn to our next plan. So I guess let's wrap this up, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking forward to the stuff,
Yep.
Can I bug Izwan to let me hear some stuff or something like that?
I actually he wanted to come today.
Okay.
But because I'm always operating on a last minute basis. Like for me, planning is within 8 hours or 12 hours, right? And he's made some other arrangements to kind of do other things. So it's like, I'll
it's all right.
Next time.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay.
Thanks, Emmett. Let's wrap this up, man.
Okay. How do you wrap it up?
We'll just wrap it up the way it goes.
Bungkus.
Bungkus.
Huh?
All right, man.
Cheers.
Thanks, Emmett. See you.